power of these cards. Okay.
Oh, I will do you justice. Thank you. That's good. Dual Academy jacket too?
Yes, sir.
If it's not the Rainbow Dragon shirt, it's the Dual Academy.
Yeah, I mean,
Howdy Crystal Conclave, it's NESHY. Golden Rule is here, so I took it to locals and recorded the games for y'all. Here's the list I used. I don't have time to go in depth with this, but that's going to be in a separate video where I go really in depth with the theory behind my strategy here. My basic goal was to maximize the power of Golden Rule through Overdrive Combo, but also have the ability to smokescreen and a Conclave control in matchups where Necro Valley really solos. In these games you'll see some banger plays and some crusty plays. I'm excited to truly master this deck alongside y'all. Let's do this. Round 1 of locals, I'm ready with my Overdrive playmat, ready to go full combo. We're up against Speedroid. You might notice the holographic zones on my mat. This is because this is the OCG version of their structure deck mat. Why does Japan always get better products than us? And kick it off with a Fenrir. Fenrir really helps with Saryuja, not only giving a free body, but also giving us a card in hand for Saryuja's cost. And it just outs floodgates like anti-spell. It's just such an amazing defensive non-engine card in this deck. And just helps you with your engine. So Prosperity's going ahead and give us an Awakening. He's going to remind me that I just dumped it to grave for no reason. And here we go, Golden Rule, ladies and gentlemen. Crystallize 2 Crystal Beasts from the deck, and then Special Summon 1 from hand or grave. This is just going to be a Topaz Tiger, you know, just because we want to resolve Golden Rule right here. And that's going to give us an Emerald Tortoise thanks to our Zenith. That's going to enable our Awakening, which is immediately going to search out a Rainbow Bridge of the Heart. We're going to get our entry pack there on our extra deck, and then we're going to use Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, pop the Topaz Tiger, search for a Beacon, and then Beacon's going to summon a Ruby from the deck, and then Ruby's going to go ahead and Soul Charge our back row. Now, we're under Prosperity, so that's what makes Prosperity a little bit kind of awkward, because now we can't Saryuja into Zealantis. We can, it's just going to be low value. So we're just going to go Cross Sheep. I should have gone Cherubini here, honestly, but I was wanting to maximize my resources. It turned out to be a huge mistake. Don't do what I did. I'm still learning. Dugar's for another Pegasus effect. Link into IP. So the idea behind this deck is you just want to loop Pegasus effect as much as possible so that you do end up getting 7 names. That's how you're going to end up doing that, because the extra deck cards help facilitate the Pegasus loop. So I'm just going to link into an Apo, use my IP for no reason, and Cross Sheep bring back Ruby, Ruby Soul Charge our back row, and then link those 4 into a Zealantis for some reason. Yeah, this is a crusty end board, not gonna lie. And then go ahead and summon out the Overdrive by banishing the Crystal Beast and Rainbow Dragon. And pass it to our opponent. Yeah, I definitely need to practice with this deck. First locals after being Master Duel brained for so long. Our opponent's gonna open up with a Speedroid Roulette, I think is what it's called. Summon a Red-Eyed Dice and a Terror Top. Not bad, not bad. Rolling a 4 is pretty great. And then Link summon into Rubber Band Shooter, Recovery the Terror Top. I'm going to Apo negate, but then he talents and attempts to take the Appaloosa. I go through with it, but honestly, I should have just, man, I should have Overdrived effect, because then that would have gotten rid of his Rubber Band Shooter and the Terror Top. Granted, the Rubber Band Shooter hasn't activated its effect yet, but now if I activate Overdrive, he could just Apo negate. So definitely not a good move to not Overdrive there. Like I said, little Master Duel brained. We're just getting off of that. Well, he's going to go ahead and do High Speedroid, I forget what it is, like Turbo Rider. Going to shuffle Speedroid or Synchros from his graveyard back to his extra deck and pop cards on the field up to like the number die roll. He's going to go for the Overdragon and the Zealantis, not going for the Overdrive. He's going to go ahead and boost himself up to 4,500, and we're going to roll for Rubber Band Shooter, pitch the double yo-yo. Doesn't matter, he already normal summoned this turn, so the double yo-yo wasn't going to get that much value anyway. Enter battle phase, he attempts to attack the Overdrive. He's at 11,000 attack.
oh, he's at 11,000.
Yeah, he gained 7,000 because
that's the wrong effort.
So yeah, crusty plays on both sides, but hey, we take those. Our opponent's just going to think about his life choices for a second. Honestly, me too. I should have lost this game in all honesty, but looks like we're going to not die here, pass it back. We get the Apo, skip our main phase thanks to Dugar's, and attack for game. You know, his effect of our opponent's little guy is that during my main phase he can tag out, but since I skipped the main phase thanks to Dugara's kind of helping us out with his drawback there, just immediately going into battle phase and then 11,000 attack. But we honestly deserve to lose that game. It's by God's grace that we ended up winning, and we take those. Our opponent's going to go full Speedroid combo. Cork shooter is just something else, just making sure that rubber band shooter isn't you can just play it as a one-up, which is crazy to me. I'm going to droll here, but apparently Speedroids don't care about droll anymore. Because he's just going to make a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and he's going to keep popping off some of the Fluke guy, and then sync those off into the bike again. So here comes the bike. I sided in droll and evenly matched, and speaking of, I'm going to enter something called the battle phase, but before that, he's going to tag out into a Clearwing Synchro Dragon and a Clearwing Fast Dragon. I'm going to evenly, he's going to banish everything except for that pesky face down, whatever that could be. Normal Pegasus, activate effect. He's going to flip up Goes in Match. No problem here, honestly. I wasn't going to pop off anyway, because I don't really have any extenders, so I'm literally just going to sit on a minimal end board. I mean, it makes sense because if I had Droll evenly matched and full combo, I feel like I would just quit the game if I were him. But we're going to do Zenith Effect for Cobalt Eagle. We can Chidori, but I'd rather just have the Conclave live. So we'll just flip up Conclave, have him read it, and then we'll be good for the follow-up. So whatever they're up to, I think we're sitting pretty either way because we can make Chidori next turn to out the Gozen. And, oh, speaking of, look at that face card. You shouldn't have set that face down for my Lightning Chidori to get more value. Put that to the bottom of the deck, stack the Gozen on top, activate Golden Rule, and you know we're popping off, baby. Crystallize a Pegasus ×2 from the deck, and special summon Ruby. And here we go. Pegasus Effect, Pegasus Effect. That's going to... Did I summon Ruby from the deck? I'm pretty sure it was from my hand. But I'm going to crystallize Mammoth and the Amethyst Cat, and then think about what's going on here. I don't really want to style on him too much. I'm just going to Beacon, special summon out of Zenith, 3k beater, and then attack for game. Yeah, I don't want to be a jerk about it. That's the one thing about playing combo that I don't appreciate is like how long turns take. Let's just go on to the next one. Round 1 in the bag, we got it 2-0. And then round 2 up against Dark World. So I'm going to start off with a Fenrir, not in the middle zone because that messes up cross sheep lines as we found against Speedroid. So what I'm going to do is bond place Pegasus, add Ruby. You know that rule's coming down, baby. Bridge for the rule. Thank God it's searchable. I don't know why they made this card as good as it is. They had no business doing that, but they did anyway. Triple Pegasus time for a Ruby. Yeah, they're reading rule. And Ruby Soul Charge, Pegasus, 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 and I'm gonna just think about what I can do here. Overland Degars just to clear up a zone for the Emerald Tortoise. Tortoise and Ruby into Cherubini. The Golden Rule goes to grave as well. I live for learning, so I learned that I gotta make Cherubini there instead of Cross Sheep, and dumping an Amethyst Cat as the end to the rank 3 engine. We're going to Dugar's back a Pegasus, place a Cobalt Eagle, and would you look at that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 names on the field or in the graveyard. Here comes Rainbow Dragon soon enough. We're going to think about how we can make this end board even better though. So we'll link the Cherubini, Pegasus, and Dugar's into Zealantis. I'm going to not use the Pegasus effect again. I just want to use the Zealantis underneath the Appaloosa to give a little battle protection. We're going to summon out the Rainbow Dragon and then go for Overdrive. Yeah, Overdragon for trigger Cross Sheep, Ruby Soul Charge, and then we're going to link 4 of them into a format Appo. I always get confused with Overdragon and Overdrive. Then we're going to activate Awakening and activate both effects, both special summoning Crystal Beast and adding a bridge card from deck to hand. Man, it's so satisfying being able to activate both effects. And that's going to allow us to also end on a Miracle. So this is like the full end board. We're going to link those off into IP, bridge search for Miracle, just a counter trap. and banish 7 Crystal Beasts and Rainbow Dragon to summon out our boss monster, Overdrive. Format Apo, protected by Zealantis, IP, Overdrive, all insulated by Miracle, pass.
So he's at 11k?
Yeah. 11k attack, baby. That's what we like to see. Opponent's going to start off with an Allure of Darkness, a nice ulti. Man, big bucks over here. I mean, I'm not one to say anything. I got the ulti Pegasus and the Tiger. Here we go. Banish, I think that's a Rainbow. And then pitch a Genta for a search. I'm going to Ash that, but I honestly should have just Apo negated, in all honesty, and kept that Ash in hand for something else like a Gates effect. And here comes Talents again. Man, can we stop getting Talents? I'm going to have to Miracle that as he declares take. And card destruction pitching Bigfoot, Aqua Dolphin, and Grapha. So he's going to Grapha Chainlink 1 target Apo, Bigfoot Chainlink 2 target IP. I'm going to just let the Apo die, but I'll negate the Bigfoot at least, and then keep the IP. So I'm going to not hit the Mothman. We're not going to snipe it out. Maybe we could try it again, and we lost the 50-50. So 2 level 4s on board. I'm not really sure what's going to happen from here. Then activate Snow Effect, I think. Or no, Rainbow Effect to search. And overlay for Attack Mode Baguska. Oh, losing my own boss monster against me. I'm going to do something I think is cool and link into Underworld Goddess, but honestly that's a misplay. The first thing I should have looked at is Overdrive Effect. I was thinking about it, but then I decided not to. I thought that this would be better because it gives an extra interruption. But then the other thing too is if he was going to attack and crash with Baguska, why don't I just link IP and Zealantis into Nightmare Unicorn? That would have been so much better because it has more attack than Baguska, and Baguska would just die. Anyway, we live and learn. Honestly, we're a little rusty today, obviously from clicking buttons on Master Duel. So he's going to crash into Underworld Goddess with Rainbow, and then that's going to clear him to go ahead and pop off. We're drawing, we literally have 2 Hardened Hand and an Awakening, and no way to enable them. So yeah, a little bit of a pass back and forth, but then finally on turn 8 he goes full combo. And we're just going to get attacked here because he wants to play around Nibiru, and then main phase 2 go into Zombie Vampire, and then continue to make plays from there. So we at least get another turn, but at the same time he's going to make a bajillion negate board, where even if we do draw playable, then we won't be able to do anything. So there's the Dark World Fusion that's going to negate essentially one of my cards. And Mudcracker. I think Mudcracker is such an awesome Dark World card. It's literally made for the archetype. Cerberus popped the own guy that he gave me. I forget what his name is. Phoenix popped the bridge. No! And I also got hand looped. I put the other bridges back onto my deck because I wasn't expecting him to Nightmare Phoenix pop it. But it is what it is. We're just going to take the L on this. Let's go ahead and head on to game 2. So this is where I actually smokescreened into the Necro Valley Salvation package because Necro Valley really hoses over Dark World. So I want to lean into that. We're going to Prospe Banish 6 because half this extra deck isn't useful anymore because I'm not trying to Overdrive combo. We're going to reveal Droll as well as Goods. I decided to take the Goods as it's going to be more impactful over the course of multiple turns, and also just giving me an engine piece as well is always nice. So we're going to Goods, dump Salvation, search for Necro Valley and Pegasus. We're going to activate Bond Chain Salvation so we get all the searches and don't worry about Droll, but you know, he would have drolled the Prosperity if he had it anyway. We're going to banish the Zenith, special summon a Topaz Tiger, add Rainbow Dragon, normal Pegasus, activate Bridge of the Heart, and then we're going to place Ruby off of Pegasus, pop the Ruby, and then add Miracle, extra normal summon a Pegasus, bring back the Ruby, activate Necro Valley, overlay for Baguska, set, and pass it over. I feel very comfortable in this position. And the great thing about this is it's playing around stuff like triple tack. You know, people keep in triple tack talents and thrust. And if I end on Baguska, Necro Valley pass, what are those cards going to do? Opponent's going to start it off with an Allure of Darkness, pitching a Radiant. Interesting. He's got something up his sleeve, I guess. He's not trying to Radiant the Baguska. But yeah, Necro Valley is kind of an insane card against Dark World, especially because Grapha and Rainbow now are unclassified effects where you can't summon them under Necro Valley from the graveyard. It's different from Lubellion where it's actually a summoning condition. Back in the day, it was ruled as a summoning condition. By the way, I'm gonna have to Miracle negate this card destruction because otherwise it's going to chain block like a Bigfoot and a Grapha, and I won't be able to do anything. He activates Bigfoot effect, and I hit it unfortunately because now he's just going to be able to hit the Necro Valley. And then 2 cards in hand. He's honestly just going to set one and pass it over. We're in a great position now. I'll just flip it. Use the standby effect of Baguska. Heart, pop the Pegasus. Search. We're going to search for a Golden Rule. Man, how many times are you going to see this card from me today? And then Heart, bounce the back row. And now we're going to switch Baguska to attack mode. And then activate Golden Rule. And our opponent's seen this plenty of times from us. They're honestly just seeing the writing on the wall from here. But they're going to concede, and we'll move it on to a game 3, baby. Now, game 3, I look at my hand, Droll. Let's go. That's the best hand trap to have by far against Dark World. Start off with a danger effect too. Oh, we're sure to pop off now. Pitching a rainbow, draw. We're even playing through Gamma until they activate Thrust. Since I activate a monster effect. Set Eradicator Epidemic Virus with a Bigfoot on field. That's like the lowest investment Eradicator. And I'm looking at my hand, 5 green cards. What am I gonna do? Rainbow, Bigfoot, set EEV, pass. Well, they don't shotgun it because they want to wait for if I have a Sapphire Pegasus and then activate its effect places Zenith, because then that gives more value, and the only punish to that would be exactly Lava Golem. So I see how, you know, wanting to hold it for that point, because if they eradicate her immediately and then a normal Pegasus, that's still pretty good for me. I Prosperity immediately trying to find a monster. None of those are monsters. I'm just going to take the Ash because that's all that's going to stick. And yeah, there comes the Eradicator. I just have Ash in hand. Man, it really does feel like the German Nationals from last week. I really do be feeling it, man. Eradicator is a toxic card. And it's not like stuff like Anti-Spell, where Anti-Spell Fragrance, I at least get to keep my cards and set them and then hopefully play on turn 3, or at least have the out and out it during my turn. But with Eradicator, all my cards just go, and I cannot interact with it. And I think that's just the worst part. We're just going to lose from there. Good games, except for the game 3. But we're going to move on to round 3. Head on into it. Good vibes only. We're going to have a good time against Shifter. Oh, gosh. All right, well, Fenrir effect. We're going to Fenrir search for another Fenrir. And then Bond. The great thing about this deck that I love is we could still play low to the ground Conclave end boards. So if I get Shiftered, I don't have to go full combo. I'll just go Bond, play Zenith, Zenith effect, special summon Cobalt Eagle, add Rainbow Dragon, and then I'm going to rifle through the extra deck a little bit, see what kind of plays I have as I normal summon a Pegasus, go to locals for 5 hours straight just to normal summon Pegasus, place a Zenith, and then activate Rainbow Bridge, search for an Awakening, and then a Heart. Skipped a step a little bit there. And then activate Heart, use its effect to search, popping Pegasus, searching for Crystal Miracle or Omni Negate. Now I'm going to extra normal summon on Pegasus, use its effect to place a Zenith, and from there I'm actually going to crystallize a Pegasus because I don't want to Miracle pop the Ruby and have them both be banished. I'd rather just banish a Pegasus since I have 3 of them. That's the most common name we have. Baguska, Miracle, Fenrir, pass against a guy that actually won the die roll and made me go first. So I'm a little frightened as our Baguska gets Kaiju'd. They're going to alpha bounce the Fenrir. Interesting. I feel like I would have bounced the Kaiju and then Kaiju'd the Fenrir just to get me on 1 less resource, but followed up with a normal summon Luna. This is Luna Kaiju. I'm going to straight up Miracle the Luna just because it's going to be annoying. The follow-up Luna as well as bouncing cards during my turn I think is just going to be not very productive for me. So they're going to go ahead and attack over the Kaiju, and that's the thing about Luna Kaiju is it's not very high ceiling, so that's nice. We're not dead. We're going to special summon the Fenrir that he so graciously bounced. And then we have 2 Fenrir in hand and a Prosperity. You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try and go for a Saryuja effect, because that's what's great about Fenrir, just giving us Saryuja fuel. I'm going to use an extra normal summon on our Emerald Tortoise, Pop it to search for a beacon. And then gonna go ahead and beacon, special summon Ruby from the deck, Soul Charge, Pegasus effect. Going to crystallize a Topaz Tiger, you know he's a known fighter. Attack in, Fenrir effect to banish the alpha face down, Emerald Tortoise swing, Pegasus swing, and on that he's thinking. I went in with the Zenith, so that's nice. Pegasus plus Ruby would be game here as he's at 2,000 life points remaining. He thinks about it but decides to just... oh yeah, this is what happened. He explained, oh yeah, I could have done something. And so I was like, okay, yeah, whatever, we'll play it out. And, you know, it's locals, you do what you gotta do. Alright, Magnamute, banish, summon. Okay, no problem. And activate effect for end phase search. I look at it and I'll just go, alright, main phase 2, activate Prosperity. No, never mind, I actually take that back. We're actually going to go for this Saryuja because I see how much value I can get from the Saryuja. So fortunately we're going to get rid of that Fenrir. And then Saryuja, draw 4, put back 3. And that's going to be like a Fenrir, a Prosperity, and then some other card I don't want. Crystal Bond, search for a Mammoth and an Amethyst Cat. The last names I need in order to summon Rainbow Dragon. Now I should have Saryuja special summon the Fenrir in hand here, but I'm not exactly bright. So what's going to happen is I'm going to link it off for a Zealantis instead, and then I'm just going to explain that the Magnamute's going to come back. I'm not going to use Pegasus effect. The Zealantis is just there as part of our end board. Extra normal summon on Amber Mammoth, link into Cross Sheep, special summon Rainbow Dragon, and link it off, or Contact Fuse, I guess, tribute it off for Rainbow Overdragon, Cross Sheep, Ruby Summon, Soul Charge, link those into Appaloosa for 4 materials, and then go ahead and activate Awakening. Stop me if you've seen this before. And I'm going to start banishing 7, but I realize I haven't resolved Awakening fully yet because I declared both effects on activation. And then activate Rainbow Bridge to search for a Miracle right after I banish 7 for Overdrive. Double Bridge. Ever seen anything so beautiful? It's great that it's not once per turn. I did already use Miracle, so I'm just going to search Awakening Conclave. Awakening is going to enable our Conclaves, making sure that we have a Crystal Beast on the field in order to bounce. It's going to search Apple Dragon in the end phase with Magnamute. I guess it is a dragon. That's kind of based, honestly. Maybe this deck ceiling is way higher than I thought it was. Mind Control, target the Appaloosa. I'm going to go IP effect to link off his monster into Underworld Goddess. Here we go, baby. Normal summon Luna, and really just thinking about this one. This is going to be really annoying because he really could just bounce the Overdrive, but I am playing 2 Overdrives, so that's kind of nice. Could bounce the Underworld Goddess though, but he's just going to look around and he's going to concede. That's going to be it. We have game next turn. Let's hop into the next one. Here we go. Round 3, Game 2 versus Luna Kaiju. We're going to kick things off because he makes us go first again. Bond, search for Pegasus, and then place an Amber Mammoth. And we get drolled, of course. Alright, well, no big deal. We can go ahead and activate Golden Rule and crystallize 2 Pegasus, special summon Ruby. Ruby Soul Charge, all under droll. Now we can't Zenith effect under droll, which is unfortunate because we would literally summon Overdrive this turn if it wasn't for the Zenith adding Rainbow Dragon part, but it is what it is. Obviously if the droll wasn't there as well. But I'm going to go through my extra deck and deciding which options I want to do while we're under droll, and it looks like the best thing I've got is IP into Baguska after I normal summon a Pegasus, of course. See, we're so close to Rainbow Dragon, we just need a Zenith effect. IP, Baguska, pass. Yep, this is it. Our opponent not only has Droll, but they also have Harpy's Feather Duster. Are you kidding me? Alright, well, good thing we didn't go for any high impact traps. And then Kaiju the Baguska, this is what we're left with. Desires, oh my gosh. My opponent's really popping off. We just have IP, Dogoron, Pegasus against Desires and whatever else they could have in hand. Only 3 cards in hand, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. Mindcon, target the IP. I'm going to go ahead and use IP's effect to link off all 3 of them into 3 Mad Appaloosa. Not bad. Until Wait for it. Wait for it. It gets Kaiju'd. Yep, of course. You all saw it coming. Now, with that, our opponent only has 2 cards. Here comes an Alpha and a Magnamut. He's going to banish the IP and then search at the end phase. And then Alpha is just going to go ahead and target itself and then bounce the Dogoran back to hand, attack directly with Magnamut, and pass turn. Alright, feeling good from this position, honestly. Even though we have a clear board, I know that with our Crystal Beasts will help along the way, thanks to Golden Rule, crystallizing 2 Crystal Beasts from the deck, and special summon 1 from my hand or graveyard. Pegasus effect, crystallize Zenith, Zenith effect, special summon Amethyst Cat and add Rainbow Dragon, and then link those into Cross Sheep. Now that we have all 7, special summon Rainbow Dragon, link into, I always say link, it's basically a link 1 like Colossus, and Cross Sheep trigger. He's deciding not to Druisworm anything. I'm reminding him that Ruby and Rainbow Dragon are both lights if he wants to banish anything, but I'm also being wary to play around the Druisworm with what I'm doing. So even if he was to Druisworm at some point, I would still have an option to play around it. So link off the Magnamut into Underworld Goddess, banish 7, 4, Rainbow, Dragon, Overdrive. Time to kick this duel into Overdrive. Now I know that there is a Druisworm in hand, so if I attack with Overdrive, he could just body block it. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with both of these, leaving him at 1,000 life points left. And then from that point, I'm going to use Overdrive's effect, shuffle everything that Ruby should be in the deck. I don't know why I sent it to the graveyard. Special summon just a bunch of Crystal Beasts from my banished zone. A different dimension return. Attack with Amber Mammoth, Druisworm effect, and we could just... Oh yeah, we attacked with Zenith first. Attack over, and then attack for game. There we go, baby. Round 3. Our only loss was against Dark World. Love to see it. Let's see if we can carry it on. We lost die roll against Branded, so I'm getting prepared to just get puppet locked here. We're going to go against full Branded Fusion Cartesia combo. Okay, dumping the Incredible Ecclesia. What an interesting move. What an incredible move, I might say. Just hard making Sanctifier and then Granola. Granola dumped the Gimmick Puppet. Okay, some new school Branded moves I'm seeing here. Sanctifier, summon out the Gimmick Puppet. Alright, no Yu-Gi-Oh for you, good sir. But the one thing about the Gimmick Puppet is it loses the Branded player follow-up for the next turn. So I'm going to go Bridge, activate Bond, and then I get Drolled. Alright, well let's go ahead and hard bounce the Granola. We're playing through Gimmick Puppet, Droll. So we have no choice but to play low to the ground here. Absolutely no way we can combo off. We're going to normal summon a Pegasus and pray that it gets us through this. Activate Bridge of the Heart. For an extra normal summon a Cobalt Eagle, just in case things get weird with Cartesia effect. We're going to just swing over it for 300, and I'm going to pass it over. Nothing I can do from here. They're going to go ahead and just think about what plays they have with 2 cards in hand. Yeah, not much follow-up after you've done the Gimmick Puppet lock. But from here, just attack the Gimmick Puppet, and then pass turn so you can do the Gimmick Puppet lock again. That was one thing Expulsion did it once, but Sanctifier can do it every turn, which is like, oh gosh, what am I going to do to out this thing? I'm going to read Sanctifier just so I could see what kind of outs I can do in my deck. I'm going to Prosby for 6, try and dig for a Fenrir to Tribute Summon. That's what I'm trying to aim for. Then I get Ashed. Okay. Alright, looks like we're going to still have to play a little low to the ground here. I'm going to attack the Cartesia. And then main phase 2, use Heart to pop the Eagle, and I'm deciding if I want to let the Eagle go to the graveyard, and I do just end up letting it go to the grave, and search for a Miracle, set a mystery card, and pass it over. It could be literally anything. And that's going to be my out to Sanctifier, I decided. So I'm going to Miracle the Sanctifier when he passes it back to me, and then Heart bounce the back row, and let's see if we can clean this up, baby. No more Gimmick Puppet locks. I'm done. I'm done with this. No Gimmick Puppets, no Drolls, no Ashes. 3 of the most annoying things you could ever play against Crystal Beast. And we're playing through it, baby. We're going to Zenith for a Ruby, add Rainbow Dragon to hand. And then, stop me if you've seen this before. Golden Rule. Place Topaz Tiger, known fighter, and Amber Mammoth. Special summon Cobalt Eagle from the grave. I know it's a little not ideal, but it allows us to go into Cross Sheep, clear zones for a Rainbow Bridge of the Heart, pop the Amber Mammoth, search for Crystal Beacon, Beacon special summon our second ruby from the deck. It's always nice having a second ruby. Soul Charge our back row, Pegasus Effect, crystallize Emerald Tortoise and Amethyst Cap, both of our remaining 3s. And next we're going to link off all 4 of these guys into a format Appaloosa. This is where 5-headed Link Dragon would have come in nice, but I didn't have it at this time. Just letting y'all know. I'm going to special summon Overdragon, trigger Cross Sheep, special summon. And then next, we're going to just tailor our end board. Link it to Underworld Goddess just to clear zones. Yeah, 5-headed Link Dragon would have been really nice here. But you can't have everything. We're going to go for an Overdrive. And then here it is, baby. Overdrive for game. That's what I like to see. Through Gimmick Puppet, every turn, through Droll, through Ash. This deck is just the best deck in the room, gotta say. Going second against Branded again, let's see if we can make it happen a second time. I imagine our opponent might do something different other than Gimmick Puppet, but we'll see. Only one way to find out. Branded Fusion, baby. I got no answer for this one, so we're just gonna let it resolve, sending Albaz and Lubellion. So they're going for Lubellion Albion line this time. Makes sense. That's a super strong line, honestly, and I think that's the strongest line that Branded has, in all honesty. Make a Masquerade, that's a floodgate, and if you disagree with me, change my mind. You only get 13 chances to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Only get 13 effects before you're just done. If you have under 600 life points, you cannot play Yu-Gi-Oh! That's literally what the card says. I believe Masquerade is a floodgate. Now, I'm going to draw phase, activate Awakening, because we hard drew Rainbow Dragon, which isn't a big deal because we're playing 2 anyway, so not a big deal. I did smoke screen out of one of them though because we are playing the Salvation engine because Necro Valley really does solo against Branded. Salvation, search Necro Valley, speaking of, and Zenith. We're going to try and beat over that Masquerade, slowly chipping away at our life points. Activate Necro Valley, and from here our opponent's deciding if they want to chain the Branded Banishment, which they do, special summon the Albion, and then won't go for the fusion effect. And now we have Necro Valley established. This game is a lot more simple now, which is awesome. Next, we're going to follow that up with activation of Pot of Prosperity, banishing 6 since we don't need half our extra deck now that we're playing the Conclave version, which is nice. Reveal 6, we'll just take an Ash Blossom, I guess. We don't need anything else from there. And follow that up with, you guessed it, normal summon Topaz Tiger. What the heck? He is a known fighter, and we're going to trigger that Zenith effect in hand. So we're going to attack the Albion with 2000 defense, so we don't take any damage, which is nice. And we're going to summon the Zenith to try and attack the Masquerade, but he's like, wait, I could just Mercurier that. So that's what he's going to end up doing. He's going to end up using Mercurier to negate the Zenith in hand, and then we're back to square one. Here we go. Looks like we got to bounce Masquerade with Bridge of the Heart. I really wanted to bounce Albion with Heart, but looks like Masquerade's going to have to do. We'll think about what's going on here. I'm going to just normal summon out of Pegasus, or just use Heart Effect to pop Topaz Tiger and search. And that's going to give us a Crystal Conclave. Heart bounce the Masquerade. No more damage from me, please. Normal Pegasus effect, Crystallize Zenith. And from there, our opponent has Ash, which he revealed to me because he tried to Ash Pegasus effect. We already have Rainbow Dragon in hand though, so it's not like we couldn't Zenith effect. Set 1, it's the Conclave, and pass it over. Our opponent's gonna go ahead and activate Albion effect, sending a banishment, or a retribution, which isn't going to do anything thanks to Necro Valley, and draw a free card, which is nice. The continuous trap card that he has up, by the way, it's like a macro if you use cards as material for fusion, synchro, link, or ritual. And it doesn't really do anything to us. He revealed to me that he's not playing Branded Beast at all. And that's why he placed a Branded Lost off of that Lubellion effect. So even if he did place a Beast, we could, after he declares Beast effect and tributes for cost, we can Conclave bounce it to have it resolve without effect. Then we go for Cartesia and a Luber off of Branded Opening and search for a Branded Fusion. And obviously Branded Fusion is going to catch a quick Ash from us. You know, the one that we just added off of Prosperity, which is nice. Then we go for fusion into Masquerade again. My old nemesis. Attack with Albion into Pegasus. And we're going to take 1200 points of damage as we Conclave Chainlink 1 to special summon, Heart Chainlink 2 to bounce the Masquerade. I don't want to use Zenith effect in hand on the attack deck because that would just be an extra 600 that we would lose anyway. And we're going to special summon them anyway from our hand this turn because I'm sure they're going to attack one of our defense position Crystal Beasts, thanks to the Ruby special summoned off of Conclave. Now, Lubellion special summon, and that's what we did. Attack the Ruby. Friendly reminder that Albion attacked this turn. We have 2 Zeniths, Pegasus, Topaz Tiger. We're sitting pretty right here. We have Heart for next turn and a face-up Conclave. And our opponent has 1 card in hand. We're going to activate Foolish Burial Goods. They attempt to Ash. I'm like, okay, I don't want you to do that. I'm literally just pitching a Goods. I would not Ash. Just please save it for my Bridge of the Heart, which he does. That's a much better move. I just wanted to see if my opponent would do something like that at a Y. If this was a YCS, then I wouldn't let them take it back. But since this is locals, obviously, you gotta let the boys play. But I just wanted to see if that kind of thing would have happened were I to play at a bigger event. So it's just nice knowledge to pick up on. I'm going to bounce the Albion with Heart Effect, crashing the Topaz Tiger. And then that's going to let me special summon a Ruby from deck. And this is where I lost footage. But from here you could say we have game. You could see we have game, attack with Zenith. And then do the whole Conclave, bounce Zenith back to hand, special summon it again. So game on board. Love to see it. This is a dub against Branded. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're ending the day with 7 wins and 2 losses. A great run for our first locals with Golden Rule. Next video is going to be a full deck profile and a deck discussion and full theory of the card roles in the deck. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video, and if you didn't like it, then make your own. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.